Okay, welcome back to Real Cast Fishing Podcast. Your host, Glenn, with the City Bella Fishing Field Team, a COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round, we're just talking Sunday fishing ramblings on some recent activities of yours truly in the area and, well, some of the things we've done fishing-wise. But before we go there, hey, let's have a little toast to close out the Sunday with some 9.5% Ranger Juice Force IPA. Tasty, tasty, tasty. All right. I think the lighting is a little off here. Let me turn on a light real quick. All right. I got a little side light here. But anyways, what I'd like to talk about today is just some recent happenings. Yours truly. We close out the, the cold water season, trout stocking season with the TRWD Fly Fest over there in Fort Worth. Close it out. That was a fun fun day out there, checking out some of the fish and whatnot. So that said, what do we do now? Well, we're kind of gearing up for kayak fishing here in the upcoming weeks once things warm up. But until then, we've got to take advantage of some of the bass that are out there in the local ponds, be it those that are spawning. Specifically, our local one over here at Bethany has been pretty good. Let's see. Reddits. What's up, Mr. Glenn? Can you please give me any info on the Rowlett Community Park ponds? Any good? Well, I could say that from a Rowlett Community Park pond. That's the one over there by the landfill. I mainly fish it during the winter when they stock the trout at various times of the year. I think they usually do it earlier than they used to. Let's see. So I can't really tell you on what would be there. However, when I was there, I think it was a couple of years ago, catching a few of the stock trout, I did see several folks catching some nice-sized catfish. I'd say 3-5 pounders, and it looked like they were using... well, they were fishing for trout. I think it was power bait, but I think they also had some other things. Are there any bass? Yes, there are bass there. I've not caught any big ones there, but I've seen others do okay. How would I approach the area, especially this time of year? Put on some polarized glasses. There's one side of the creek that has a feeder, or not creek, of the community pond. I think it's the one that has the dock. Well, no, there is a dock already there. But if you go to the one end where there's a little feeder creek that runs in and it gets shallow, that is where I'd probably start. And I'd probably put on some polarized glasses and just start walking the bank. If the water's clear, you should be good to go to at least maybe see some of these bass that are spawning, because right now in our area, yeah, they are there. In fact, I just went the other day to local pond over here. We call it Sonic Pond, and there were 5, 6, 7 beds in with one particular spot, and I could easily see it because I had the polarized glasses. Unfortunately, they didn't want to strike. There were only one that looked interested. Other than that, the rest just kind of sat there. In fact, I had my fly going right, right in front of its nose. Let's see. Sorry for interrupting, but I just want to... Oh, it's no problem. This is part of the fishing ramblings. I have some things I want to bring up, but other than that, it's wide open for what you guys want to talk about. In fact, here, I'll knock it out real quick. I got this 3D printer behind me, and I started making the micro lure blade because I wanted a lighter lure for this micro fishing, or not micro fishing, but bait finesse distance fishing. And this is the casking Zephyr that I've been using with a high spool speed bearing that has allowed me to cast from 1/16 ounce to, I'd say, about 1/24 ounce weights now. So I just wanted to test it out. It took about a minute to print, and I got like several varieties. I already lost 2 of them, unfortunately. One to a snag and one where I had a break off. I don't know how, but it broke off. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to bring up this round. Unless you have some other questions, definitely bring it up. One thing that I noticed that helped me with these little micro lures was this little split ring thing that I just got in today, in fact, from Amazon, and made a big difference in getting that lure set up. But yeah, for rowlette, community park pond, I'm not that too savvy in there bass wise, but yeah, right now this time of year, definitely want to go check it out. White bass run, I've heard a lot of good things about the white bass run, specifically over there at Rowlett, as well as over there by, I believe, the gun range that runs by there. And a lot of folks out there fishing. I haven't fished it. I usually wait till the summer or when they start coming out into the local lake, and then I'll start doing some kayak fishing there. But everything that I've seen posted wise has definitely been pretty good from the white bass standpoint. I think over here they call them sandies. I'm from South Texas. We call them white bass. But what I also saw for some folks that were fishing, I believe on the Fort Worth area side, Brazos and whatnot, there's a lot of them that were using, from a fly fishing standpoint, it's like little clousers and whatnot. And then from a fishing standpoint, or at least ultralights and whatnot, those crappie jigs tend to do well. I like using rooster tails in particular. I think my dog is barking right now. Sorry for the intrusion. He thinks he's a big dog. All right. Thanks for the knowledge. Okay. Appreciate it, Reddits, and appreciate y'all joining. Okay. So we're just rambling at this point. In fact, I might have a looser tongue as I keep drinking this 9.5% IPA. Voodoo Ranger. Very good. And I wonder, can y'all hear the dog out there? I think he's barking. Yeah, I think I hear him. Anyhow, I do have another order that I put in at Amazon, so maybe that's why he's barking, because I was looking at picking up this this hook. Well, you put your hook in it and you're able to attach it to your pole or your rod, and you're able to unhook it really quick and start fishing really, really quick. I'll put more about it and tell you how I like it or not. Right now, I've been just using rubber bands to hold everything down, as well as those tomato stake Velcro things that you use for your garden. Those worked out pretty well, but I think I'm running out of them. So anyhow, right now the bug in me is fishing these local ponds, polarized glasses being the key. And when you come to a bed and you see the bass reacting to your fly, this one's getting ready to strike. You should fish that one until you do get a strike or you spook them. A lot of cases, if you're dropping them right by their nose and all that, and they're moving on, or they're spooking immediately as you walk up, best thing to do is just move on and see if you can find another one. I think so far there's at least 4 ponds I've been to in the past 2 weeks, and every single one of them has had either bass on beds or you can see them staging. So I would say that would be a good one to take a look at. Have you ever fished Richland College? Okay, I'm trying to remember. It's the one that's further south of Dallas. I think I went there once, and that was part of it was like a baseball tournament or something, and I noticed there was a pond there, and I fished it, and I remember it was a good while back, though. I think it was like 10, 15 years ago, and I just remember it being very clobbered with a lot of greenery, but I did get a few bass. I mean, just typical pond bass that you see in different areas. So I'm not sure if it was Richmond College or if it was another one, but it's the one that I'm picturing that's south of Dallas. I can't remember where, but it's been a while. All right, and I see some other folks are joining. Appreciate y'all joining. This is the Real Cast Fishing Podcast. This is a Saturday or Sunday ramblings. I normally try doing this on Friday, but at this point, when I have an opportunity to jump online and try this. I'm hoping I can get you more info. Also, I'm still doing the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing series. And that one is just going right into the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing and reading all the different tips and just pointing out some key things there. So, but at this point, fly fishing, micro fishing, micro lures, and bait finesse is bugging me. And then the upcoming, I call it kayak fishing season. That's gonna pop here soon, and that is pretty fun because I get two things out of kayak fishing. One, I'm fishing, and then two, if I don't get anything, I'm still getting good workout because I tend to do trolling. I'll troll my lures and whatnot. Other times I'll bottom bounce, or I'll start working a tandem rig of crappie jigs over some structure where some crappie are, and just start bottom bouncing there. And there's a lot of paddling and moving. I don't have a foot powered kayak. I just have your everyday kayak with you got to use your kayak paddles to move around, and it's been pretty fun. All right. How about y'all? Anything happening out there where y'all are at? Maybe some good hints of things to maybe fish for. I know the white bass run. I know the bass on beds and spawn is happening. And then additionally, crappie. That should be picking up as well. Gotta take a little break here. All right. Other things. Let's see. I'm really excited about this 3D printer. The AnchorMake M5C. I got it on a whim. We were over there at Nebraska Furniture in the Colony, and spied that this was on sale. Did a little quick look up, and sure enough, they couldn't beat it elsewhere. Plus, I did hear some good reviews about its usability. Some of the things that I also picked up on is there's some software programs that you probably want to keep in mind. I currently downloaded Inkscape as well as Tinkercad. It's a browser-based app application where you can access it and make design your own lures and whatnot. The Inkscape, I saw a video on YouTube that was explaining how you create an SVG file, and that SVG file is what you use to create the STL file. Well, then be picked up in the 3D printer, and you're able to start making your own designs. And I went through, 3 iterations of the microblade lure because there was one where I was reinforcing the hole right here. Reinforcing the right there where you would attach the line or the split ring here at the top of the micro lure, and then at the back end right here, I was reinforcing it with some additional layers of filament, and as it turned out, it didn't work out like I wanted it. But then I found out that I can keep one smaller, the one that was on the back of the lure, and the other one would fit perfectly with the other part of this lure. And sure enough, this worked. And I didn't even paint it. I just left it, the black filament that comes with the 3D printer. That's 2 size 3 split shot. That's a size 12 treble hook and a split ring and a split ring up here. And it does cast nicely. It's really light, 1.6 grams. And when you cast it, you can tell it's working right is you'll feel that slight vibration. And what I do like about it is compared to the metal ones that I made out of brass, as well as some ones that I purchased, this doesn't sink as much or as quickly as the other one. So you have a little enticing slow drop as you stop in the retrieve, and then you get the strike. And that last video I posted where I hit the one of the local ponds, and I'm using that microblade lure. It worked out really well. You can just see how I'm just casting it, and I'm getting some good strikes. I think one thing that I will do different going forward is I'm probably going to get some Zap-A-Gap right here. Right now I'm using super glue right there. And it seems to work, but I did lose one yesterday, and it really, the fly or the lure didn't work like it should. It wasn't sinking, and it wasn't vibrating or making the appropriate action like it should have. So I think I might try some Zap-A-Gap. It's the same glue that I use when I'm creating, be it different lures as well as making some fishing flies. So I've been happy with that one. Also been happy with the high spool speed bearing that I added to the Casking Zephyr. This is the one without the reel clicker. The other one that I have does have the reel clicker, and I kind of haven't used that one in a while because I've been using this one with a high speed spool bearing, and it's let me cast the 1/24th ounce size weight or lures compared to the 1/16th ounce that I've been using previously, mainly with that rooster tail. And additionally, the Featherflight Kingfisher, that's still been pretty good. Do you make soft plastics like mold injectors? I do have several of the kits that I picked up years ago with the Plastazol. Let me think now. I can make a Senko-like worm as well. There's like 2-3 other ones. Like there's one with a little crawfish pincher looking things. I've made that, but I haven't done it recently. And the main reason is I've been gotten the bug on this microfishing. But yeah, I do make soft plastics with both the mold injector as well as the it's the one where you make it either out of plaster, or you can get some silicone and you make it flat and you just pour the Plastazol there. So you have one end or one side that's flat and the other end that's got the shape that you're looking for. And I find fish will still strike it. I do, when I make my own, I do make them softer, so they sink a little bit slower, and you also see, or you can feel it. You can feel the plastic worm is a lot slinkier, like lifelike. I mean, it feels more wormy than the plastic worms that you buy. Hold up, I got to stop for a little refreshment here. Let's see, Quilly24 Twitch, loving this. All right, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. This is just really an open forum, fishing ramblings, and well, we've talked about bait finesse, micro lures, making little micro lures with the 3D printer back there. Talked about some white bass tips as well as local ponds and whatnot. So I'm really open to any other discussions that you'd like. I've got maybe about 30 minutes or so that I have open to talk about fishing, because if I am not fishing, well, I tend to talk about fishing. And there's a set of poles behind me right here. That's what you see, but there's also a set this way in front of me, and there's also one to my right. And the only reason why there's nothing over here is because I got a window. I don't know how many poles I have, but I got a lot. And, well, right now it's bait finesse. Okay. I did look online, checking out some different things and whatnot, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's out there. Who's your favorite YouTuber fisherman? There's several there's a bunch that I follow. From a favorite standpoint, I mainly look at the folks that are fishing the local areas, or areas that I'm going to. So like on the coast, especially the Galveston coastal area, MDLR, Michael De La Rosa. He's got a great channel there, and he's got a lot of good information there, as well as beach bomber fishing. So I kind of pay attention to what they're doing, especially when I'm going to make a run to the coast there, more of the central coast of Texas. But making a run down to Port Aransas, South Texas, Rockport, Capano Bay, or Yeah. There's a couple that I follow there. Let's see, Nick Breakaway. He's the one that does a daily beach report for the Port Aransas area. I like following them or paying attention to what they have. Here in the North Texas area, there's one person that I've been paying attention to. I think I may be butchering the name, but it's Clinton Brunig, and it's a guy that's he's got some great videos, and he's been posting some really cool bait finesse systems, gear stuff. And I do follow him. And then from a bait finesse standpoint, there's two that I follow. RAR Fishing, RAWR Fishing. He's got some great info there. In fact, it's probably reason why I picked up a few of some of these rods and whatnot and reels because of their recommendations. And then there's a BFS reel test one. He does a in-depth review of all the different bait finesse style reels and whatnot. Other than that, I'll just kind of shift between different YouTube channels and YouTube fishermen, mainly for what's some of the latest trends and whatnot in the fishing industry, as well as if I'm going to target a particular area, I'll just go on to Google, go on to YouTube, and just say, give me, fishing activity, fishing reports, fishing whatever for the last 30 days, and just kind of see what's coming up there and see if there's any good information there. All right, appreciate the question. That was a good one. All right. Let's see. I know from a trout fishing standpoint, if you have the ability to make it up to the Blue River in Oklahoma, now's the time to get up there because they did their last trout stocking this past week. And at this point, even the catch and release area is put in tape. So you catch it, you can keep it, don't have to release it. And I believe at this point in the season, there's some big ones out there to be had. Plus, while you're out there, you might even have the opportunity to catch a nice size smallmouth bass. There's some smallmouth in that nice size smallmouth bass in that fishery. And then, of course, you always have the Lower Illinois up in the Lake 10 Killer Tail Race up in Oklahoma, as well as Beaver's Bend for some good opportunity for some year-round trout fishing. But like I was saying, I'm doing the local fishing, pond fishing for the bass that are spawning, and then two, probably going to start dusting off the old little Suzuki 2.5 horsepower kicker motor that I got and pull out the John boat and get that one prepped. Because, well, Charlie, my dog, and my significant other, we do like to do a little jug lining at the local lake. And when I say jug lining, just pretty much taking this self-setting jug line that I made last year, made some modifications to some existing jug lines and throw them out there. And I can deploy them a lot quicker, and we can definitely catch a few fish, especially make some catfish and whatnot. And I kind of play it by ear. I'll run to the lake, and once I can catch shad consistently with a cast net at the boat ramps, I know it's time to go ahead and make a run and go for it with your self-setting jug lines or jug lines in general, or at least going out there and doing some fishing, be it rod and reel and whatnot. Let's see. Let me think. Other than that, I'll be paying attention to the different points as well. There's every once in a while, I'll just kind of get crazy and just want to pull out the surf casting gear. And I call it surf casting without the surf. And that's the case where it's a windy day, wind blown point, and I got a little break in the action, and I'll make a run to the local lake and find a nice wind blown point later in the afternoon or maybe early evening, and just put a slab and jig rig, put on maybe some sabiki style crappie jigs on that slab and jig rig, and just yank it out there. Maybe put like a 2 to sometimes I put like a 4 ounce, 6 ounce weight, and just cast it as far as I can, and just start bringing it in, and you'll be surprised what you can bring in on from a windbone point in the summer or in the warmer months of the year in these local lakes. I've caught white bass, yellow bass, catfish, bass. I mean, the whole variety. And well, there's one particular point that I used to go to fairly quickly that I can consistently catch a fish or two using that style casting, specifically using the surf casting gear. In fact, here I'll show you. I mentioned earlier that I've got several poles over there. In this area here is a lot of surf casting gear. Behind me, some fly casting stuff. Over there in the corner is more fly fishing stuff. And above me is just a variety of different poles and whatnot that I have. All right. Let's see what else is happening. I got a message here that's been held for review, so might have some nastiness on the line here. So I'll have to check it out later. All right. Other than that, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to bring up this round. Hopefully you guys can come back maybe next round and I can go over some more things that we have. I mean, mainly just wanted to talk fishing and give you an idea of some of the recent things that have been happening. And, well, I do like the ability with this 3D printer to make these microblade lures, as well as maybe some other lures that I plan on posting eventually. And I do like that I can kind of adjust things based on this little tiny split ring plier and get some of these little split rings onto the lures that I've been using. All right, let's see. Zayden Walters, Niha. I'm not sure what that means. All right, let's see. From other things that we've been doing here recently, let's see, the micro lures, 3D printing, and I do have to admit that AnchorMate M5C has opened my eyes to 3D printing. I've always wanted to get a 3D printer, but it's always been, well, it's maybe tough to set up. Plus, I don't want to spend the money, and it looks like it may be a pain to learn a few things. Well, it turns out this one makes it a lot easier. I can control the function of it from my phone. I can download designs and whatnot and get them printed fairly quickly. And additionally, because there's some low cost, if not free, software, I'm able to design my own lures. And so over the course of the year, I'm hoping that maybe I might be able to come up with one that just may be a game changer when it comes to a particular species of fish, because, well, I plan on fishing some ponds, plan on fishing the local lakes and whatnot, and then I do want to make that run to the coast. And make that run to the coast, I definitely want to try some, well, maybe some other things that may get some bigger fish to strike. All right. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close out this round. Appreciate y'all joining. And I'll definitely check out the messages and whatnot and see if there's any comments, questions, whatnot that I need to answer. All right. All for now. Catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.